Since the start of the Russo-Ukraine war, 6 months have passed. Despite this, neither Russia nor Ukraine have prevailed thus far. In the past, people worried that Russia would quickly overrun Ukraine. However, the Russian troops are currently being rapidly pushed back by the Ukrainian army. Due to fierce Ukrainian resistance, Russian soldiers are running away while carrying weapons and ammo. Vladimir Putin is consequently dealing with a great deal of hostility in Russia. Volodymyr Zelensky, the president, is in a very good mood as a result of the Ukrainian army's significant advancement. They now assert that they have taken back the Crimea. This Zelensky is the same one that was seen negatively at the outset of the conflict. Critics in his own nation thought that politician-turned-film star Zelensky had knowingly inflamed the conflict in Ukraine. Additionally, he was charged with unjustifiably linking Ukraine to the continuing hostilities between NATO and Russia. Since the outset, Volodymyr Zelensky has been a staunch ally of the West and America. He worked as a comedian before entering politics. He began to become interested in politics in 2014, and in 2019 he was elected president of Ukraine. In light of this, concerns have been expressed regarding Zelensky's political and diplomatic knowledge in comparison to other leaders. He breached the agreement established with Russia at the start of his term and succeeded in getting a resolution in the Ukrainian parliament to admit his nation to the European Union. He also said that his nation would join NATO, which is a military alliance dominated by the United States. Additionally, NATO and the EU openly backed Zelensky's declaration to enrage Russia. Zelensky, however, was unaware that this declaration would come at a high cost. Why Ukraine decided against joining the European Union and NATO? Due to Ukraine's proclamation that it will be joining NATO and the EU, the war with Russia began. Despite this, neither organization has admitted Ukraine as a member. NATO extended invitations to Finland and Sweden to join their alliance at the same time, but solely in response to the Russian threat. In such a case, it is reasonable to wonder why NATO and the EU have not admitted Ukraine as a member. Ukraine has been given candidate status by the European Union, but no decision has been made on membership. Ursula von der Leyen, president of the European Commission, expressed severe concerns regarding Ukraine's membership while she was in Ukraine following the Russian onslaught. He claimed that despite administrative reforms and advancements abroad, Ukraine still had a lot of work to do. He had stated that although much had been done to improve the rule of law in this nation, more reforms were still required to combat corruption. Zelensky is accused of inciting violence in Ukraine. No sane nation wants to purposefully embroil itself in a conflict for no gain. But with Ukraine, the exact opposite occurred. Ukraine purposefully engaged in conflict with Russia, a stronger nation than it. Russia was concerned that Ukraine joining NATO would endanger its security. But as soon as Zelensky took office, he began making sweeping statements regarding NATO membership. As a result, Russia began to worry about its security. Russia sent troops to stand guard at the Ukrainian border in March 2021. In spite of this, Ukraine disregarded Russia's advice. Due to this, Russia once more began stationing troops at the Ukrainian border in November 2021. Since then, there has been concern that Russia is getting ready to launch a significant military campaign. But instead of managing the environment appropriately, Ukraine began taking military action against the separatists who were supported by Russia. In the conflict with Russia, Ukraine is virtually completely destroyed. A fifth of Ukraine has already been taken over by the Russian troops. Ukraine asserts that it has taken back 6,000 square kilometers. It is true that control has been reclaimed over the eastern Ukrainian cities of Kharkiv, Kherson, Severodonetsk, and Lysychansk. However, this cannot be viewed as Russia's outright victory. President Volodymyr Zelensky will consider it a significant win if the Ukrainian army completely repels Russia, using the armaments it has gotten from the West. His portrayal as a hero in Western media, including that of Ukraine, is possible. It is improbable that the Russian army will leave all of eastern Ukraine, though. Zelensky will also have to deal with the difficulty of reconstructing his nation. Ukraine may need decades to fully recover from the destruction brought on by the war. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel.